I'm going to show you exactly an eye lift method today. In fact, it's the most underrated eye lift method in 2025. No surgery, no Botox, and no one tells you about it. Now, whether you're over 40 and you're trying to keep your eyelids from sagging into your lash line, or let's say you're under 30 and you're chasing that high lateral brow, the Ariana Grande brow lift, this video is for you. An inexpensive brow lift demo with a twist you're not expecting today. Because here's the truth. What you think works on its own, it usually doesn't. Because just like with facelifts, or if you get procedures like RF microneedling, HIFU, people always want more. And I totally understand it. If I lifted, we'll demonstrate it. If I lifted 1 millimeter from your droopy lid, like this, or a millimeter from your jowl, if I just gave you a millimeter, or the nasolabial fold, still the number one driver to practices next to the under eye, are these folds. If you can believe that. If I gave you 1 millimeter lift, you'd want another millimeter gone. It's human nature. And I call those add-ons. When you want more, we add on. And today I've got the ultimate one for you, the ultimate add-on. You're going to learn how to combine a simple technique with one cream and one movement. So 3 things to build the lifting muscle, but they're quick, inexpensive, and you have pretty much everything likely at home today without creating forehead lines. Now I said without creating lines. Why do I highlight that point? Because mostly the ones I see on the internet, the exercises or the methods, like on TikTok, IG, on all these shorts, they actually create lines, but not today, because the method I develop, it lifts, no lines created. That's the distinction. And if you want to take it further, I'm going to include one injectable on top of it all. That's how I make my living. But we'll save that for the last. Even though it's quick, safe, and it's an under $50 injectable, let's go through everything free and inexpensive first. So the problem, the brows drop from 2 things. Number 1's gravity, and number 2 is skin laxity over time, what we call classic aging. But there's an overactive circular muscle around the eye called the orbicularis oculi. It circles the eye, but we're going to pay attention to the downward fibers right here, just like we do when we use injections. Here it is exactly here. Pay attention to this. I blew this picture up for you. Look right here. These are the lateral fibers. Look what direction they're pointing in. Down. This is what we're playing off of today. When they contract, they pull the eye down laterally at the canthus. This is key. Keep it in mind. Let's move on. Now, especially it's active in younger people where they have that rounded closed eye look. Now, and why do I say younger? Well, it's because most older people like me, we have laxity with it too. So yeah, the muscle pulling down plays a role, but the laxity is more important if we're older. So for you, over 40, we're going to address both. For the younger people, you can just do the muscle part. And yeah, I know as we age, everything takes more time and effort, except unsolicited advice, crackling of your joints, chin hairs, and yeah, your eyelids clocking out at 3 p.m. like union workers. So here we go. Let's relax what pulls down. That's your lateral orbicularis oculi muscle I talked about. There are areas of the same muscle that can lift a little bit. So it's important we're just doing the lateral side. Now, gua sha is what we're going to use out here as step 1. The real results are going to come when we layer step 2, but you need step 1. You want to start with your gua sha tool, but don't glide randomly. Anchor it at the temple and sweep upward, focusing on the brow tail right there. As I said, avoid tugging the eyelid skin. You're working along the temporal branch of the facial nerve, promoting lymph flow and lifting the fascia. Let's do it. So first, as always, we're going to use a little glow oil first slip. Hydroglow is what I use. You guys use the ones that you do. But you want to put that laterally like that. You, of course, can use any gua sha device that you have. This is mine. Mode 1 is vibration. That's important for bone. And red light. I use mode 2. That's red, near infrared, and vibration. Now, Whatever device you have, these are the angles that you want to look at. You want to take the device. I use my red, near infrared, and vibration, and this point here, right at that lateral portion, and you want to anchor it. And then it's up. So it's here, anchor it on the bone, and up. Now you're getting some of your frontalis muscle, more on that in a minute. But again, anchor that little nubbin here. And you can do 3 to 5 strokes. Someone that's getting bone loss, you can turn it around in the corrugated part, anchor it again, and move up. I developed it so it fits all foreheads perfectly. And why is that? Because what you do is, if the curve is different than your forehead, you angle it on the side. Most, I'd say 80% of foreheads, this fits perfect. If not, you angle a little bit of 15 degrees. Why does angle not matter so much with a device like this? Well, there's enough surface area here. If you have a tiny stone, you'll have a pinpoint edge with a narrow stone, so you want to angle it 15 degrees. With this, not as important, but because people by habit, they keep it at 15 degrees. There you go. So that's your temporal stroke that gets that orbicularis oculi downward fiber. And this edge is important to anchor right there on the anatomy you can see here. You want to do this daily for 1 to 2 minutes each side. Now, step 2 is your lateral muscle relaxation. Because remember, that's pulling down. Here's the add-on everyone misses. Under your brow, especially laterally, these downward fibers that are overactive, we want to reduce their activity even further. Think needle-free. Hyaluronic acid with argireline. Argireline mimics Botox. It's a peptide. Or Revision Line Relaxer. And you can see here it has a very unique dispenser and tip that you can use to target this area. And in this product, there's also peptides that calm the muscle activity. So when you slow down this downward pull area, what takes over? Well, we're going to talk about step 3 in a minute, but that is your frontalis. But you'll want to apply one or the other product. I know some of you use both of these, and that's okay. They're different in their mechanism of action. So you could use your hyaluronic acid first, followed by your Revision Line Relaxer. Apply them only in that area, and do not apply those products in your frontalis. Again, you're going to understand this in a second. But we don't want to slow down the lift area. We just want to tame this area that we're focusing on. Remember, the frontalis lifts. And that's why if you Botox it, it lowers the brow. Everyone gets their frontalis done. They're, oh, my forehead's smooth. Why do I have a droop? It will make even more sense in a moment. And these 2 products, I put them on sale today, but there is a coupon code. It's only for viewers of this channel. 30 for 36. That's your coupon code. 30 FOR36. And that's going to be 30% off for 36 hours. We haven't done a sale like that in over 9 months, so take advantage of that. We have a few hundred of each available for the sale. The third and most crucial step, we're going to target the muscle that lifts your brows up. And this is where most people go wrong, and it's why your brow lift does not last. Before I go on, I know you like these free tricks and tips backed by science and clinical practice. All I ask of you is one thing. Well, 2. 1 is subscribe, 2, click the like button. I appreciate that and you greatly. It keeps the channel going and it allows me to give more back to you. Frontalis training. Now we need to build up your natural brow elevator, the frontalis muscle. Now I know it bifurcates differently in all of us. Some people, so it separates. What I mean by bifurcates, in some people it doesn't. It separates right in the center. Other people don't have a central frontalis. Don't worry, it's the same method for both. You don't need to know which one you have for today's minimally invasive treatment, but it will make a difference if you're getting injections. If you're interested to know about your anatomy, just lift up. If you have lines all the way across, that means likely you don't have a separation of the muscle laterally, but you have it separates together in the center. If you have no lines in the middle part, that means your muscle separates laterally with an empty area in the middle. But again, you don't need to know that, but it might be cool to know. So how do you build this muscle? Well, here's what you don't do. You don't lift up. That's what people do at exercise. They lift up. And if you lift up, it moves the muscle, right? The problem is you're going to get lines. Here's what you do. Hold the palm on your forehead like this. Now look up. You're still building the muscle. You're still activating it, but you're not creating those deep folds as if you didn't hold it. So again, you're moving against resistance. It'd be like if you're working your bicep and you're holding it against resistance. The difference is you're not furrowing. So hold and lift. And you want to hold that for 10 seconds, relax for 10 seconds, and to keep it simple, do 10 reps daily. And remember, resting in between is key to getting results. So you don't want to just boom, 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 lift, lift, lift. You want to lift, hold 10 seconds, and relax it down for 10 seconds. That's absolutely important to recharge your muscle fibers and make the most out of each contraction. When you go to the gym, what do? Much bigger muscles, of course, but you probably rest, 1 to 3 minutes in between sets? Same thing here. Remember also, muscle's going to take up volume. What happens to females after 40? This is a very tiny fat pad in your forehead to begin with. If you look at a cross section, it's almost not even there. But when you have a more muscle, it takes up more volume, and that looks youthful. Think baby face. A thin forehead gives away age because it looks what we call skeletal. It skeletonizes the face. We don't want that. That muscle building will help. So we have gua sha to train and lift the fascia. We have the serums or Botox to calm that pull down laterally. We're going with serums on this channel. And number 3, you have your frontalis activation to build that natural lift. Do this daily for 2 weeks. Take a photo before and after. I guarantee you'll be shocked at the lift that you get. And if you want to go deeper dive into full face gua sha, I have a full free course at store.rajanimd.com. Just go to the school tab. Now I promised you an injectable option, and here it is. Quick and inexpensive. And I provide it all the time. And it's 3 units of Botox per side, so 6 units. That also slows the muscle movement down. So it's $50 or $60, very cost effective. But again, most people don't want needles. Most people don't want Botox-like products. And so those peptides are what most people opt for. And of course, you can do them at home. And you can use those products on other areas where you want to slow wrinkles down, but just not your forehead today because we're trying to get maximal brow lift. And I made a free video right here on LED and red light to supercharge all of these results and boost your routine for, guess what? That next level, because I know you want it to keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.